What's up guys, Mitchell Watts with Town & Country TV, and today is going to be a very fun video. We have the ultimate Ford Bronco First Edition video for you. Not only do we have a First Edition, but we've got a First Edition in a 2-door and also made it up with a 4-door side by side. Before we get into the video though, I do need to let you know we are actually giving a Bronco away. So let's take a quick pause so you can see that. Town & Country TV is giving away this Bronco that has been customized by TC Customs. Entering is very simple. For every dollar that you spend, you'll get 1 entry. This applies to merchandise only, so make sure that you stock up on t-shirts, hats, and stickers. They make perfect Christmas gifts for truck and Bronco enthusiasts. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit that link down below for more information. All right, so now that I've got that out of the way, I want to show you a size comparison between the 2 and the 4-door. So as I've already mentioned to you, both are First Editions. This one in Cyber Orange happens to be a 2-door version, and you can see the 4-door version behind itself. Now, you'll also notice that I've got both of these Broncos that are parked exactly the same. So the backs of these things are lined up perfectly. So you can actually see a size difference between how much longer the 4-door is versus the 2-door. Now I'm gonna go, in this video, I'm gonna go over everything that you need to know about the First Edition from the beginning to the end. But we're also, before we do that, wanna get into the size comparison. Notice how much longer this door is on the 2-door versus the 4-door. That is the main reason you cannot store the doors on a 2-door in the back of the vehicle. They're too long to fit width-wise. So speaking of in the back of the vehicle, let's take a look at the cargo area of this one as well. Now you'll see as I open the hatch and then also the glass for the molded in color roof, as I take these things out, by the way, these are your door bags located right here. You've also got another bag that I just kicked out. That's for the front row panel of the hardtop, and you've got the normal mats. But I wanted to give this as a depth perception of exactly how much space you have in the cargo area. The 2-door really does cut down on the amount of cargo space that you have back here. In addition to that, notice that there's only 2 seats in that second row. It's not 3 like the 4-door version is. So just know that you're giving up a little bit of capacity in that 2-door versus the 4-door. Now, just so you guys can see a side-by-side comparison, you can kind of see how much cargo area we have back here, and we have also got the storage bags.
Hey,
Emily, we are making a video. What are you doing?
Your bespoke boxes are here.
Well, why didn't you start with that? Cool, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you very much, Emily. By the way, if you guys don't know Emily, she is our social media director. Thank you very much. Next time you got to start with that, okay? Do you mind doing that for me?
Will do.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, this is one thing that I absolutely love and look forward to every single month. So let me show you what this is all about. Bespoke Post is a monthly membership club delivering awesome boxes of top shelf goods from under the radar brand. And it's free to join, so go ahead and sign up today. One of the things I love about Bespoke Post is that you go online and basically answer a short quiz, and they automatically will pick out and send you awesome things that matches what your lifestyle is. 90% of these products in the boxes are from small businesses, many of which are based right here in the United States of America. Now that hatchet, it's actually from Bare Bones, who is a company that is based out of Salt Lake City, Utah. Preview your box before it's shipped. You'll get a box assigned to you at the start of each month based on your preferences. And before it's shipped, you'll get a preview of what comes inside to decide whether you want to keep it, whether you want to swap it for a different box, or maybe even skip the month entirely for no charge. You only pay for what you want, and you can cancel your subscription at any time. I intend on taking my personal Bronco camping. I think it's pretty cool that they sent me this little axe, so that way, you know, if I need to chop out a little piece of wood, you know, for the campfire, I think that'll be absolutely fantastic. I've got a money clip. I've got a pill capsule. Now this is actually a pretty sweet little deal. You've got a pen that is not only just a pen, but it also happens to have a measuring tape to it, or a measuring stick. It's got a full level, and it's a stylus, so that is pretty stinking sweet. This is kind of a one-size-fits-all for pens, but this is what I'm really excited about. This, look at that. Guys, as we're constantly unboxing these new parts and things like that for TC Customs, I need a good solid knife, and man, this thing is fantastic. So yeah, this is what I'm really, really excited about. But I will tell you, there's also another thing that I could have used last month when we went to SEMA, and that's going to be this travel bag. So as you can see, I can unzip it, put my clothes inside of it, fold it back up, and it turns into a bag. So a pretty sweet setup. And if you guys haven't already done so, go to Bespoke Post, use those links down below, and you can automatically get a discount by using that code right there on the screen. Coming back to the size of the cargo area, as you can see, this thing has got significantly more cargo area in the back of the Bronco than that two-door does. Now, one thing that I also like about the four-door is you have the ability to store some things underneath here as well. It's probably also available on the two-door, but it's definitely not anywhere near as much space as you get in that four-door. So a pretty sweet little setup there. Now, I do want to point out that all Broncos that are a four-door have a bottle opener located right here where my finger is, behind the I guess the last pillar on the Bronco itself. I've been told, and I actually haven't even tested it, that the two-door does not have that. So let's go ahead, now that we actually have a side-by-side comparison available to us, let's see if that two-door has the bottle opener. And guess what? No bottle opener. Isn't that crazy? Hey, so you learned something here first, which a lot of you guys that are watching our videos are dedicated, diehard Ford and Bronco fans, and you probably already did know that, but it's nice to, you know, be able to compare them side by side. Now let's do this. Let's take a look at the inside of this two-door and then compare it to the four-door, because there's actually a lot of differences. All right, coming on to the inside of this particular First Edition, this is where it gets really interesting, because this is going to be the leather and vinyl gray and navy seats that originally launched for the First Edition. So as you can see, you've got the navy in the middle and you've got the gray on the bolsters. So this is originally how all of the First Editions were going to come, was with this seat interior. Now, make sure you wait long enough to see this red one as well, because it's got a completely different interior, and it was all based on customer demand and customer feedback. So pretty cool stuff to see that Ford is actually making those changes. As I've mentioned to you already, in the back seat of the vehicle, you do have a a four-passenger version of the Bronco. So it is interesting to see that they do have the little latches. You pull that and it comes all the way forward, and you can actually get in the back of the vehicle. I'm 6'3", so let's see how good a 6'3" person can get in the back seat of this vehicle. All right, so in full disclosure, I've got too many kids in car seats. I've actually got 3 kids, so I can't go with the two-door, just simply because it's only a 4-passenger vehicle. Because if we ever want to go anywhere, it's me, my wife, and my 3 kids. So a two-door, unfortunately, would not work for me. But as far as headroom, you know, being 6'3", you've actually got enough to have a decent trip on the way down there. And once again, this is the molded in color hardtop 2.0. If you don't know what that is, just hit up the forums. It'll tell you all about it. But you also have the sound deadening headliner in here as well. So a pretty sweet little setup. Now, I want to show you the dashboard of the vehicle, and I'll just go ahead and tell you about that from back here. Now, the first thing you'll realize about the First Edition is that it comes with every option under the sun. This is the best way to think about the First Edition is if you took the Wild Track and mated it with the Badlands and then mated it with everything else. It is literally a very limited production vehicle. They were originally only going to make 3,500 of these, and they ended up making 7,000, limited it to 7,000. But I want to show you over here, we do have a 12-inch touchscreen, which features the Sync 4 system, so wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You've got heated seats. Unfortunately, there's not a Bronco in the world that has ventilated seats, unfortunately, but who knows, maybe that will be in version 2.0. But while you're in this area, I want to show you this little badge. This is a very specific and different badge compared to the other Broncos, because it says First Edition on there. That's one of the ways you know you're not going to get this thing is not a hodgepodge made together version of the Bronco. This is a limited production vehicle. But what else is really, really cool about this is the only Bronco that you can get that's not a Badlands, but it still has the stabilizer bar disconnect. So if you are going to be going heavy off-roading and you want a premium vehicle, so all the trimmings, all the features, this is going to be your option, is going to be the First Edition, because it comes with that stabilizer bar disconnect. It also comes with Sasquatch automatically, which means you get the 4.7 gears, you get lockers in the front and the rear, and every Bronco that is an automatic gets the trail turn assist, as well as your normal traction control and your hazard lights. So pretty cool stuff. You want to think about the First Edition has every option under the sun. But I want to point out one last thing before we move on to the other Bronco. Take a look at this dashboard. You can't really tell unless you notice it, look closely to it, but it is actually a blue dashboard. It's a very, very dark blue, but it is blue nonetheless. And just above that, you will also see the Bang & Olufsen premium audio sound system, the speakers that go with that. And yeah, it's a pretty sweet little setup. All right, so before we move on to the inside of this red Bronco, I want to show you the size difference in the doors. So take a look at this two-door version and look at the overall length of this door. That's the reason you cannot store these doors in the back of the two-door, is because the door takes up so much space. When you compare that to the four-door, it is a pretty big difference. So now let's take a look on the inside of the vehicle. Now there's not a whole lot of differences, but there is one major difference that you need to realize, and that is going to be the interior color. Because so many first edition order customers complained about it, and rightfully so, what they did is they gave you the opportunity to go with a solid black interior. Now this is going to be a even rarer version of it, because the first edition was limited to 7,000 units. In addition to that, this particular Bronco is made in Rapid Red, which is a discontinued color for 2022 and going forward. In addition to that, this has the late availability black leather interior. So what you're looking at in this particular Bronco, this is kind of like a unicorn. They just don't exist. Not very many of them will exist over the lifetime. But notice how you've got a really, really nice solid black leather seat. You've got the double stitching all the way through it. The solid bolsters, everything is one solid color. By far, without question, this is my favorite interior color. I like the solid leather, the solid color. But I will tell you though, as a Bronco owner myself, I do prefer the marine grade vinyl even over this black leather found in the first edition. Everything else is going to stay the same, with the exception of the dashboard. Notice that the dashboard is also black, just like the blue interior of the other Bronco is got a blue dashboard. This one's a black interior and it's got a black interior, black dashboard rather. So it's pretty nice to see that not only is it the seats different, but also the dashboard. Coming into the back seat of this four-door Bronco, you can see that there's a lot more leg room. The height actually feels almost the exact same, maybe even a little less headroom. It just, seat of the pants feel, I've not measured anything, almost feels like the back seat of the two-door has more vertical headroom. But the main thing is you've got 3 seats all the way across. And the other thing that I do like about the leather in this vehicle compared to my Badlands, which has the marine grade vinyl, is you do have a, I just whacked my head. You do have a center armrest, so that way you can put cup holders here, which is a really, really nice thing. I think all Broncos need to have this. Why do you say? Well, because if it wasn't for these 2 cup holders, where would you put your cups? Because, you know, if you take your doors off, you've got these nets in the door, but what happens if you take the door off? And you don't have this, then you literally have no cup holders in the back seat of the Bronco. Which, speaking of not having things in the back seat of the Bronco, there is no air conditioning vents in the center console of the back of the Bronco. So the good news is those AC vents in the front are good enough to shove enough cold air back to the back to actually cool people off. So that is a good news. But if you do have a rear-facing car seat, that child's probably going to get a little hot because they don't get direct access airflow and they don't have a air conditioning vents in the back seat. So who knows, maybe with the new redesign of the Bronco coming in, hopefully in a few years, they will be able to integrate that air conditioning system in that back seat. I do want to focus on a couple of key aesthetic differences in a first edition compared to the other trim levels. And the first thing you're going to notice is you have this side stripe. This is a vinyl sticker, but it is nice because it has a texture feel to it. Don't know if you can hear that, but it is a nice little textured feel to it. It's really just designed for aesthetics, but that is what you're looking at on the first edition. That is only available in the first edition. In addition to that, you also have this side badge, which, by the way, if you have a Bronco and you're trying to buy a badge like this, you have to show all kinds of police reports or show proof that you own a first edition. They won't just let you order one of these badges out of the parts department. Trust me, we've tried. We were getting ready to do paint protection film on a first edition for a good customer of ours, and we wanted to pull all the stickers off, put the paint protection film down, and then put the badge back on top of the paint protection film. And to do that, you need to order a new badge. Well, trust me, you're having to jump through all kinds of hoops to get that new badge. So just, if you've got a first edition on order, you need to realize that before you jump into the paint protection film world, if you will. And then also you have the same matching stripe that is on the side of the vehicle on the hood of the vehicle as well. The same kind of a textured sticker. so you can kind of hear that. But it is nice to see that this little gray piece is not a textured piece. It's kind of a smooth, whereas this is almost like a really, really soft sandpaper, if you will. Let's talk about a couple of other key design changes. Is you've got the piano black painted front grille that is designed and only specifically available on the First Edition. To my knowledge, and I might be completely wrong in saying this, in fact, as I'm saying this, I'm wondering if the Wild Track has it, but I do know that it is nice to see this piano black painted front grille, and then obviously you've got the bull bar going in the front as well. Now the other thing you'll notice is on the rear view mirrors. Those are also painted mirror black or gloss black to match the front grille, and also the back emblem, which is the Bronco horse itself, is also black compared to most of the other Broncos. They're going to be chrome. Taking a look at the window sticker, this First Edition has nearly every option under the sun. First thing you'll notice, 954A. That is the First Edition series. That basically means you get everything right off of the jump street, if you will. Now, the cool part is the only thing that we've added to this vehicle from the factory, option-wise, the Cyber Orange Metallic for $595. You have the molded in color hardtop is standard, so every First Edition comes with that molded in color hardtop. You do have an engine block heater, towing capability, and keyless entry keypad are all a la carte options that were included on this build. In addition to that, there's a dealer installed option of a wheel lock kit for $90, bringing the total MSRP to $59,900. Looking at the four-door First Edition, same thing, 954A. First Edition series. One thing you will notice is that the body code is going to be different. This one has an E5E versus an E5F. That denotes that one's a two-door, one's a four-door. Just a fun fact you might not have realized. The Rapid Red is also an upcharge color, but it's only $295 compared to the Cyber Oranges, which is a good bit more. You also have the keyless entry keypad for $110, bringing the total MSRP to $63,010. One thing I did not compare for you guys is going to be the length of this molded color hardtop. So as I've already mentioned to you, all molded in color hardtops or all First Editions come with that molded in color hardtop. And as you can see, this one has a decent size length to it, but it is a good bit shorter than what you get on the two-door version. So the two-door's got a much longer rear section because you can't remove that second panel. Now, I've had a couple people ask me, how do you remove this? Is this top piece a piece and the side piece a piece? No, it is actually one big clamshell. You unbolt it all the way around and then just get a buddy and lift it straight up and off of the Bronco. And notice that the easy to remove, without any hand tools, is just the front passenger, or the front driver and front passenger side of the molded in color hardtop. But when you flip that over to this side, once again, much smaller clamshell, but you do have a first for the driver and the passenger, and you also have a second row panel that comes out as well. So this is going to be really good if you want the second row to have a roofless experience without having to take the clamshell off. You definitely want to consider going with that four-door. And there you have it. That is the ultimate comparison on the Ford Bronco First Edition, comparing the two-door versus the four-door. Guys, I hope you appreciate it and like this video. If you did, smash that thumbs up button. If you haven't already done so, check out the Bronco giveaway. We're giving away that four-door full-size Bronco, and we're even tricking it out, customizing it before we give it away to you. So check out tccustoms.com. For every $1 spent is an extra entry into that giveaway. So check that thing out if you haven't already done so. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already done so, leave some comments down below and make sure you subscribe to the channel with the bell notification turned on so you don't miss a single video. Peace.